So the Festival of the Star Scourge, or the Radahn Festival, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful things we've ever had in a From Software game. From a lore perspective, it's not too complex, it's pretty simple and straightforward. The reasons behind it are laid forward right in the beginning of the game, and then reiterated by Witch Hunter Jaren, the host of the festival. Now, whether or not you found Radahn too hard or too difficult, or if you didn't actually use any of the summons that are provided, one thing that I think everybody will appreciate is the visual aspect of the fight. I mean, first off, you're fighting a hulking dude riding a tiny horse, wielding two giant swords, shooting giant fucking arrows at you, in a battlefield littered with the remains of countless knights and soldiers, warriors that fought in the Shattering alongside demigods. And I imagine some of the remains are also from previous festivals. But all of this is set in a red wasteland that looks like it's straight out of a Ozzy Osbourne album cover, and I'm sure with the right editing, this boss fight can look like a Metalocalypse music video. Now, regardless of one's opinion on using summons, if you do happen to use them in this fight, you're set up for one of the most epic battles and just overall sequences that a From Software game's ever had. But I suppose some background on the festival is in order. The Chad General Radahn fought the amputee Valkyrie to a standstill at the heart of Caelid. Well, until she activated the God Mode cheat and went completely nuclear, driving the poor general insane and effectively turning the entirety of Caelid into Chernobyl 2.0, but this time in red. So I guess that makes it like Kirkland brand or something? Anyway, Radahn had this friend named Jaren, who was his battle commander and, drinking buddy and all that good stuff. And he was so loyal that he swore to give the general an honorable death because it's what he deserved. Radahn was a noble guy. He didn't deserve to be left to wander the wastes as some kind of mad, beast-minded dude cannibalizing the remains of knights and soldiers. So to that end, the famous wanderer began organizing the Festival of Radahn. Now, by the events of the game, word would begin spreading that another one of these festivals would be starting up soon, and warriors from all walks of life from far and wide would begin showing up at Redmane Castle. In fact, it even manages to pull in two of the most famous NPCs in the game, Blythe and Alexander. But the other participants in no particular order were Finger Maiden Theralina, who's either a puppet at this point or still human. It's tough to say. If you're going through Ranni's quest, it's possible that she was sent by Celavis to help Blythe and the player, and if you're not doing Ranni's quest, she's still there anyway, so maybe that explanation doesn't work here. Next up, there was Lionel the Lion, a champion of Fia. He met her and became her father figure, essentially just chose to be her father figure, so he seems like an all-around decent guy. And you have to fight him along with two other goons if you're going through the Fia questline. There is also Greathorn Tragoth, who is a famous knight of assistance in the same vein as Black Iron Tarkus or Masterless Glencar from previous titles. He's also the target of Patch's assassination quest with Volcano Manor. Next we had the previously mentioned Jaren, the host of the whole shindig, also known as Witch Hunter for his pursuit of the apostate mage Selen of the Primeval Current, an honored friend of the Carrion royal family, and a comrade of Star Scourge Radahn. He swore an oath to give Radahn a good death and remains the warden of Redmane until that is fulfilled. Next on the list of festival goers we have Patches the Untethered, the cockroach of the series. Now, despite looking like Jason Statham, he is not an action hero and teleports out almost immediately, if you happen to summon him. There's Okina from the Land of Reeds, a samurai who founded the Inaba, an elite group of warriors of the East. He also had this insatiable hunger for bloodshed, to the point where he even ran Mog's Fade, and actually whooped Mog's ass. When he sliced Mog, Mog was like, "Hold on, stop. What if I were to give you a piece of my power and turn you into a demon?" And Okina was of course okay with that. So he's essentially a demon that's fighting alongside you in this festival too, imbued with the power of Mog's cursed blood that had been uplifted by the Formless Mother. But I'm sure most people just know him as Rivers of Blood guy, and they're not wrong. That's pretty much his whole function in the game, is to drop Rivers of Blood. Well, and to participate in this festival. And of course, there's the already mentioned Blythe, a loyal shadow and stepbrother to the Lunar Princess Ranni, who swore an oath to her Dark Moon. He is here because Radahn has imprisoned the stars, and the stars guide his mistress's fate, so he seeks to free that, so that he can go get her the Finger Slayer blade and she can kill the Fingers. And last but not least, we have Alexander, Warrior Jar, Iron Fist, Wandering Hero to all living jars. A being who is constantly seeking out challenging fights to hone his combat abilities, he is here because he heard of the festival and thought it would be a good bit of fun. Now, once you end up on that battlefield, it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass to go run around and summon everybody while dodging his giant arrows, but honestly, just for the epicness and visual aspect of it, it's worth it. I mean, sure, it makes the fight go by a lot easier, and some people aren't into that, but there's just something about the spectacle of it all. Like, we've never really had this opportunity before in previous games, to fight alongside a large group of NPCs against one giant, hulking demigod boss. It reminded me of the often maligned Great Gate battle in Oblivion. I know in that case people were basically expecting the Battle of Helm's Deep or something like that, but I think there's still something epic about how that battle goes down and getting all the allies and possibly going around throughout the game and getting all the followers too and having them stationed there. I don't know. Oblivion's an underrated game, but I digress. Once you step through that gate, it's like you've set foot in Vecna's Wasteland or the Upside Down from Stranger Things, or inside an Oblivion gate. All you see is red, remains, and dust. And of course, giant purple arrows flying at you. But once you get them all summoned and everybody's attacking in unison and he's throwing giant boulders at you and you're throwing, whatever you're throwing at him, while Alexander the Warrior Jar is doing spin attacks and the giant wolf blade is flying through the air swinging a giant greatsword. I don't know. It just, it was the moment where I was like, wow, I really like this game. And not to mention that when you knock him down to half health, the guy turns into a fucking meteor and flies down into the map. Now, I know some people definitely killed him before he even went into second phase. I know I saw a lot of that, and it's definitely doable. But to miss out on that giant meteor, it's like I said, the spectacle of it all is why this whole sequence is my favorite sequence in the game. It's just one of those moments in the game where they got everything right. Visuals, aesthetic, atmosphere, the particular NPCs that are involved. It's just great. But at the risk of rambling on and on, I just wanted to make a little video about why I liked the Festival of the Star Scourge so much. I got a lot of videos coming out soon. Latenna, Ranni, Black Noir, etc. Also something about how death works in Elden Ring. Like I said, I take on too many projects at a time probably, but they'll all be done soon. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please like it. If you didn't like it, please dislike it. And if you like hearing me rant on and on, please consider subscribing. That would really help me out a ton. I will see you guys tomorrow or the next day with another new video. Have a good one. See ya.
Ah, hello there. It was a battle marvelously fought. You are well and truly a champion, friend. I, on the other hand, am nothing but a crock. One hit was all it took to crack me, and for my insides to come spilling out. After that, I hid like a coward. And as such, I can hardly stand to face one such as you. But don't you think I've given up just yet. As luck would have it, there's a veritable mountain of warriors' bodies right here. If I can just squeeze this bunch down inside me, I'll be a mighty warrior again in no time. And the bodies found here are exceedingly fine. Who could expect any less from the very warriors who fought in the Shattering, the greatest of all wars? Just you wait and see, friend. I'll grow even stronger. Just you wait when next we meet.